Today our topic is the Stoic view on facing your fears. Fear is something everyone feels. It is natural. Fear can be big, like losing someone you love, or small, like speaking in front of people. The Stoics, who were ancient philosophers, had a special way of looking at fear. They believed that fear comes from things we cannot control, and the key to overcoming fear is to focus on what we can control. This idea is simple but powerful. Let's explore it more deeply. First, let's talk about what fear is. Fear is an emotion that warns us about danger. It is like an alarm inside us. For example, if you see a snake, fear tells you to stay away. This is useful because it keeps you safe. But sometimes, fear becomes a problem. It stops us from doing things we want to do, like trying something new or taking a risk. The Stoics believe that fear is not bad in itself, but how we react to fear matters. If we let fear control us, it can make our lives smaller. If we learn to face fear, we can grow stronger. The Stoics taught that many fears come from worrying about things we cannot control. For example, you might fear failing a test. But the truth is, you cannot control the result of the test. You can only control how much you study and how hard you try. The Stoics said that if you focus on what you can control, you will feel less fear. This is because fear grows when we think about things that are outside our power. If you spend too much time worrying about the test result, you will feel more fear. But if you focus on studying and doing your best, you will feel more confident. This does not mean you will never fail. It means you will know that you did everything you could. Another important Stoic idea is that fear often comes from our imagination. We imagine bad things happening, and this makes us afraid. For example, before giving a speech, you might imagine people laughing at you or forgetting your words. These thoughts are not real, but they feel real. The Stoics said that we should question our fears. Ask yourself, is this fear based on something real, or is it just in my mind? Often you will find that your fear is not as big as you thought. By questioning your fear, you take away its power. The Stoics also believed in facing fear directly. They said that the best way to overcome fear is to do the thing you are afraid of. For example, if you are afraid of public speaking, you should speak in public as much as possible. At first, it will be hard, but with practice, it will become easier. This is because fear loses its strength when we face it. The more you do something, the less scary it becomes. The Stoics called this exposure. By exposing yourself to your fears, you learn that you can handle them. This builds courage. Courage is a key idea in Stoicism. The Stoics believe that courage is not the absence of fear, but the ability to act despite fear. Everyone feels fear, but courageous people do not let fear stop them. They understand that fear is just a feeling, and feelings do not have to control us. For example, a soldier might feel fear before going into battle, but he still fights because he believes in his duty. This is courage. The Stoics said that we can all develop courage by practicing it. Every time you face a fear, you become a little braver. Another Stoic tool for facing fear is preparation. The Stoics believe that we should prepare for the worst while hoping for the best. This is called premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of evils. It means thinking about what could go wrong and planning how you would handle it. For example, if you are afraid of losing your job, think about what you would do if it happened. Would you look for a new job? Would you save money? By preparing for the worst, you take away some of its power. When you know you can handle the worst, you feel less afraid. The Stoics also believed in accepting what we cannot change. This is one of their most famous ideas. They said that some things are outside our control, like the weather or other people's opinions. If we try to control these things, we will feel frustrated and afraid. But if we accept them, we can find peace. For example, if you are afraid of getting sick, remember that you cannot control everything about your health. You can eat well and exercise, but you cannot stop all illnesses. By accepting this, you can focus on what you can do and let go of the rest. Acceptance does not mean giving up. It means understanding what is real and what is not. The Stoics said that we should live in harmony with nature, which includes accepting the things we cannot change. This does not mean we should not try to improve our lives. It means we should focus our energy on things we can control, like our actions and our attitudes. By doing this, we reduce fear and increase peace. The Stoics also believed in the power of perspective. They said that fear often comes from seeing things in the wrong way. For example, if you see a challenge as a threat, you will feel fear. But if you see the same challenge as an opportunity, you will feel excitement. The Stoics taught that we can change our perspective by changing our thoughts. Instead of thinking, "I might fail," think, "This is a chance to learn." By changing your thoughts, you change your feelings. This is a powerful tool for facing fear. One of the most famous Stoic philosophers was Marcus Aurelius. He was a Roman emperor, and he wrote a book called Meditations. In this book, he talked about facing fear. He said that fear is often worse in our minds than in reality. He wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This means that we cannot control everything that happens to us, but we can control how we respond. By focusing on our mind, we can face fear with calm and strength. Another Stoic philosopher, Epictetus, was born a slave, but became a great teacher. He said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This is a key Stoic idea. Fear is not about what happens outside of us, but about how we think about it. If we change our thoughts, we can change our fear. Epictetus also said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." This means that if you want to be brave, you must act bravely, even if you feel afraid. Seneca, another Stoic philosopher, said that fear is often about the future. We fear what might happen, not what is happening now. He wrote, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." This means that our fears are often worse in our minds than in real life. Seneca said that we should focus on the present moment. If we stay in the present, we can reduce fear. This is because fear is usually about what might happen, not what is happening now. The Stoic view on facing your fears is practical and powerful. It teaches us that fear is natural, but we do not have to let it control us. By focusing on what we can control, questioning our fears, facing them directly, and changing our perspective, we can become braver. The Stoics believe that courage is a skill we can develop, and that by practicing it, we can live fuller, freer lives. So the next time you feel afraid, remember the Stoic ideas. Focus on what you can control, question your fear, and take action. By doing this, you will not only face your fears, but you will also grow stronger.